Звертаємося до Дональда Трампа. Через тебе, паскуда, президенту Зеленському не відправляли зброю. Тобі більше не бути президентом. Ти зрадник і заплатиш кров'ю за те, що зробив.
Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. Good luck. Live in peace.
What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Yes, I survived my trek to the top of a volcano yesterday, Diamond Head. Boy, that last 100 feet though, it was hot. It was like 1 p.m. I drank, I think, 5 waters on the way up, and I was conserving. I only had 1 left. I had about 6 waters. I really just wanted to dump one over my head because I was so hot, but I made it to the tippity top, and my wife encouraged me, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool just for a fat guy to it was a nice confidence boost, okay, dude, you can do this and get up to the top. Getting passed by old grannies and stuff, that was definitely a motivating factor too, but it was a good time. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Trump has essentially turned on Volodymyr Zelensky because it seems like Zelensky wants this war to keep going on and on and on and on. Part of that reason, I believe, is, at least according to a Tucker Carlson report, nearly 50 cents of every dollar America is sending there is getting spent on, let's just say, other things. And obviously, the American people, we can cut, Doge is making great strides. And I think we're all happy for that. The issue is, if we don't stop funding foreign wars, we're still literally burning billions of dollars. And, hey, the liberal in me, I don't like war. I don't like the military-industrial complex. I don't like us sending, fueling Israel with weapons. Israel, as I have been told numerous times, Ben Shapiro, can defend themselves. I don't like us having proxy wars with Russia in Ukraine. I don't like us, training the Syrians to overthrow their government. I don't like us doing any of this stuff because even if it were free, I'm just not a big fan of getting kind of caught up in that stuff. And it looks like Trump has, kind of renewed his anti-war stance or reminded us. And it seems like Zelensky is perhaps the biggest impediment to ending this. And before we get into that, just quick favor to ask everybody. We are trying to make my coffee company, Coffee Brand Company, roasted small batch, fresh on demand. We are trying to compete on Amazon. There's huge benefits for you because you can get almost all of our coffee next day now. And it's cheaper. The coffee itself is $1 or $2 more because Amazon takes 30%, but you're not paying for shipping. Even if you are paying for shipping, it's cheaper. If you go there and you type in gingerbread coffee, you might have to scroll a little while, but you'll see our gingerbread K-Cups. If you haven't tried them yet, or you have tried them, please pick some up today and make sure, if we deserve it, that you leave a 5-star review on it, especially if you've already had them. And a secret pro tip, I brew it double strong, or I do 2 K-Cups, and then I drink it with milk cold. It's really, really crazy good cold if you haven't tried that. So help us make a dent against the machine. Just go to Amazon, type in gingerbread coffee, scroll until you find us. And it's all on sale too. There's a 5% off coupon too. Trump savages Zelensky and greenlights Europe putting peacekeeping troops in Ukraine. Yeah, let Europe take care of it, right? Sorry, my European viewers, but I'm being a little selfish here. I understand that, but listen to what he says.
The Russia talks, your impression of how they went today, and if you're perhaps more confident or less confident of a deal after what happened today?
Well, much more confident. They were very good. Russia wants to do something. They want to stop the savage barbarianism. I mean, what's going on over there? It's soldiers are being killed by the thousands on a weekly basis. It's ridiculous.
As part of a peace deal with Putin, would you be willing to consider removing all American troops from Europe?
Yes. Please say yes.
Nobody's asked me to do that, so I don't think we'd have to do that. I wouldn't want to do that.
I would.
But that question's never really come up.
Sir, do you support stationing European peacekeeping troops in
Yep.
Ukraine as part
Yes.
of this peace?
Yes,
deal?
I do.
If they want to do that, that's great. I'm all for it. If they want to do that, I think that'd be fine. I mean, I know France has mentioned it, others have mentioned it, UK has mentioned it, but yeah, if we have a peace deal, I think having troops over there from the standpoint of Europe, we won't have to put any over there because, we're very far away.
Yeah.
But having troops over there would be fine. I would not object to it at all. And I'm very disappointed. I hear that, they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years.
Yep.
And a long time before that. This
Yep.
could have been settled very easily. Just a half-baked negotiator could have settled this years ago without the loss of much land, very
Big
little
agree.
land, without the loss of any lives, and without the
Now, okay, so I happened to talk to a Ukrainian refugee who was my driver actually in Chicago, and he did kind of share with me a lot of, insight that I don't really get to see. He seemed to like Zelensky, but I wonder if he would, he had a young family. I assume he's in the United States, so he doesn't have to fight in that war. So I don't know. I understand Ukraine saying, hey, we don't want to give up any land because Russia's just going to come back and say, well, now we want more. And now we want more. And we want more. Both sides are, I think the only way this probably ends amicably is if Putin pays Ukraine like 20 times what the land is worth so that Ukraine can save face and say, hey, we negotiated this deal, a subsidy on gasoline for our entire nation for 20 years where it's 50 cents cheaper per gallon than anywhere else or $1 per gallon cheaper, and they get this land. I think there is a business conclusion, their way to compete this with business rather than war.
loss of cities that are just laying on their side. Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating.
Is that true?
And yeah, I would say that, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people have to, wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries
They
also.
did suspend elections there.
People are tired of it. People want to see something happen. And, the other thing that it's been bothering me for a long time, because I solved the problem with NATO. They paid hundreds of billions of dollars into the funds of NATO when I said you got to pay, because the United States was paying for European countries, and then they take advantage of us on trade. And we have to equalize with Europe, because Europe has given us given a very much smaller percentage than that. I think Europe has given 100 billion, and we've given, let's say, 300 plus. And it's more important for them than it is for us. We have an ocean in between, and they don't. But where is all the money that's been given? Where
Good
is
question.
it going? And I've never seen an accounting of it. We give hundreds of billions
Right.
of dollars. I don't see any accounting. So
President, before the end of the month, if you guys are signing up, please.
By the end of the month. By the way, just a quick reminder, gingerbread coffee, find us, help us out, support it, make it iced, make it not iced, leave a 5-star review if we've earned it. And if we haven't, email me and let me know how I can. Here you have this too. Trump calls for Ukraine to hold elections to potentially replace Zelensky as he takes a swipe as the president's approval rating. We have a situation where we haven't had elections. Trump claims Zelensky, who was first elected in 2019, had a 4% approval rating, despite polls showing Ukrainian president hovering just above 50%. Yeah, 4%. That did not seem likely to me. Just above 50%, quite frankly, is where Trump is too. But I mean, Zelensky has been making all sorts of demands. Don't love that. You could say Zelensky could fall as price of peace, as U.S. and Russia agree on more talks. U.S. and Russia hail detente, I don't know, as path to rapid ending of Ukraine conflict. Here you have Zelensky could fall as the price of peace. I mean, it'd be interesting. These are all various headlines. You know, I don't know if I can read this, but it says, U.S. and Russia make provisional agreement for ceasefire, elections, and peace treaty. So, I mean, if they have elections, would the Ukrainians elect Zelensky again? I don't know. It's not like I know 100 of them. We see Zelensky and Trump trade blows as feud escalates over peace talk. President Trump called Vladimir Zelensky a dictator after the Ukrainian president took issue with his statements on the war with Russia. It is weird how much this guy, talks in a disrespectful manner about the United States when we are the only ones between him and Russia. It's like he doesn't even understand that reality. I'm not saying he has to just do every little thing we ask or that he has to call Trump God Emperor or anything like that. But he says, I would like to have more truth with the Trump team. Zelensky said in some overt criticism yet of Mr. Trump and his views of the war in Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky summoning reporters to his presidential office in Kiev, a building still fortified with sandbags, and the U.S. president was living in a web of disinformation. In a post on Truth Social, Mr. Trump responded with a scathing attack on Zelensky. Think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Volodymyr Zelensky, talked the United States into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but the war that he, without the United States and Trump, will never be able to settle. I mean, where's the lie? Where's the lie? The left has been real quiet on Zelensky too. I'm no pro-Russia guy, but I'm a pro-logic guy, and this is not a war that he was going to win, and he may end up getting pushed out of office if he actually allows an election to happen. All those leftoids, democracies on the ballot, a lot of them real quiet about Zelensky suspending elections during wartime. A lot of them real quiet, right? That's dictatorial. Trump calling me a dictator is probably correct. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Gingerbread coffee on Amazon. Get some, leave a review. I'm working real hard to get all of our coffee there and available via Prime by the end of the month. And so I'll always let you guys know when you can get it there too. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.